Hello, and welcome to another super fantastic year at HCISD. We're already well on our way to becoming one of the best school districts in the nation. We're committed to preparing each and every student who walks through our doors for their future, so that they're ready for college, career, and a lifetime of learning. This year, our students in Texas will be transitioning to a new state accountability system and a new assessment system. And as the Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum and Instruction, I'm confident that our students here in HCISD will transition smoothly to this new system. Because again, we're committed to preparing students for their future in college, career, and the workforce. And we will do that each and every day. STAAR is the state student testing program. Over the course of their public school career, students will be tested in the core subject areas: reading, writing, mathematics, science, and social studies. The number of tests taken each year will vary from 2 to 4, depending on the grade level. The STAAR test for elementary and middle school grades will cover the same subjects and grades as the previous testing program, the Texas Assessment of Knowledge and Skills, or the TAKS test. Because this is the first year for STAAR, students in 5th grade and in 8th grade will not be required to pass the reading test or the math test in order to be promoted to the next grade level. However, starting next school year, students in 5th and 8th grade will need to pass the math and reading assessments in order to be promoted to the next grade level. With this new assessment, it is critical for every teacher, staff member, and parent to understand that STAAR will require an increase of complex thinking skills for students in every grade level. The test will also contain more questions at most grades. Students will be subject to a 4-hour time limit for assessments unless they qualify for an accommodation. The majority of content in the test will come from material covered during the student's current year of course, as opposed to the TAKS, where high school tests were required to cover multiple years of content. High school students will be required to complete 12 end-of-course tests, as opposed to TAKS, where students had to pass 4 exit-level tests at 11th grade in order to graduate. These end-of-course exams will count for 15% of the student's final grade in the associated course. At the elementary and middle school level, students will be tested in grades 3 through 8 under STAAR this school year, which is the same as TAKS. At our high schools, STAAR will begin being phased in at the 9th grade this school year. Students currently in grades 10, 11, and 12 will continue to test under TAKS until graduation. STAAR end-of-course exams at the high school level will be very different than TAKS. The assessments included state requirements are English 1, English 2, and English 3, Algebra 1, Geometry, and Algebra 2, Biology, Chemistry, and Physics, World Geography, World History, and U.S. History. If a student in grade or below is taking a course for which there is a STAAR end-of-course assessment, he or she will be required to take that assessment. So if an 8th grade student at Coakley Middle School is taking algebra, he or she will be tested under the end-of-course model for that subject. HCISD has many things to celebrate from the 2010-2011 school year, and I'm confident that this school year will be no different. We're committed to preparing each and every student so that he or she is successful in the classroom and on their state assessments. These dedicated and experienced educators have been working tirelessly with department heads across all of our campuses in implementing a curriculum that we believe will lead to success on the new assessment. Content for the test is established in TEKS, the Texas Essential Knowledge and Skills, provided by the Texas Education Agency on each subject and grade level. TEA has categorized TEKS for the STAAR in 3 separate standards of learning: Readiness, Supporting, and Process standards. Readiness standards are the knowledge and skills that have been deemed essential for success in the current grade or course. They also support college and career readiness while addressing concepts with depth and complexity. Supporting standards are the content that is introduced in the current grade but emphasized in a subsequent year or a previous year. These concepts are more narrowly covered in the current year or course than in previous or subsequent courses. Process standards include underlying process in math, scientific investigation and reasoning skills, and social studies skills that relate to the content area. These standards are assessed in context, not in isolation, to allow for an integrated and authentic assessment. The texts break down into 70% supporting standards and 30% readiness standards. The content in the STAAR exam will include 35% of the supporting standards and 65% of the readiness standards, so there'll be a larger number of items required for success in the current course covered in the assessment. Our team of effective educators are committed to putting our students in a position where they can succeed on state assessments and graduate with knowledge necessary for their success at the next level. At HCISD, we understand that the future of our city, region, state, and nation is dependent upon how well we educate our children. We know that the future starts here, with effective teachers providing a high-quality education to knowledge-hungry students. If you have any further questions, visit www.hcisd.org/STAAR, STAAR, for more information on the new assessment and HCISD transition. Thank you for your time and commitment to public education in this community.